All right, so let's check out this. The New York Times here was an update 2 hours ago as of 11:13 p.m. Central Standard Time. That is March 23rd, 2026. So it says Iran war live updates. U.S. and Iran sent conflicting signals on peace prospects. President Trump said talks were underway. A top Iranian official denied that, while other Iranians said messages were being traded through intermediaries. There was a lot of speculation that Monday morning, before the markets opened up, that's why President Trump had said that peace talks for a ceasefire were gonna be going underway, and the markets obviously did respond to that. So they're saying that was like a market manipulation. But here's the latest. So it says conflicting signals from leaders of the United States, Iran, and Israel on Monday left a murky picture of whether peace talks were underway and what prospects there were for ending the war in the Middle East anytime soon. President Trump told reporters that the United States and Iran were engaging in very strong talks toward resolving the war that began on February 28th, which had produced many like 15 points of agreement. He said he was postponing until Friday his threat to attack Iranian power plants while talks take place. The Speaker of Iran's parliament denied on social media that any such negotiations were underway, accusing Mr. Trump of issuing false statements to calm rattled energy markets. Iranian officials and their country would continue to fight. But the Iranians and the Americans were exchanging messages through intermediaries about de-escalating the conflict, with the immediate goal of averting attacks on critical energy infrastructure, according to 4 Iranian officials and an Iranian diplomat. The officials spoke anonymously to discuss sensitive negotiations. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu of Israel, after speaking with Mr. Trump, President Trump, did not. The New York Times, bro. They give Prime Minister the title, but not. After speaking with President Trump, did not state whether peace talks were being held, but said that his American counterpart believed it was possible to leverage the military achievements to realize the objectives of the war in an agreement. Mr. Netanyahu, in a video statement, said Israel would pursue its campaigns against Iran and its ally in Lebanon, Hezbollah. Whatever the truth about possible negotiations, the war continued to rage on multiple fronts. The U.S. and Israeli military said on Monday that they had carried out fresh waves of strikes on Iran, and Israel continued its offensive in Lebanon. Iran claimed attacks on Israel and Persian Gulf countries, though it was not clear if any of them penetrated air defenses. Mr. Trump said that a son-in-law of his, Jared Kushner, and his... Who is that guy, bro? Why? How is he involved in this? Mr. Trump said that a son-in-law of his, Jared Kushner, and his special envoy, Steve Witkoff, were leading negotiations, and the United States was communicating with one of Iran's leaders without naming the person. He said the U.S. side was demanding an end to Iranian nuclear enrichment and elimination of the country's uranium stockpiles that could be used to one day make a bomb, terms that Iran had previously rejected. 3 officials said Iran's foreign minister Abbas Araghchi and Mr. Witkoff had spoken on the phone in recent days, but they said those were preliminary discussions on de-escalation and should not be characterized as negotiations. The war's global fallout has seen the price of oil and gas rise sharply since late February. A crisis is now worse than the oil shocks in 1973 and 1979 combined, according to the head of the International Energy Agency. Mr. Trump's statement about talks with Iran immediately reduced energy prices somewhat, but it was unclear how long that could last without tangible progress toward ending the war. The president has repeatedly given optimistic assessments that temporarily eased market jitters, only to have prices rise again. More than 2,000 people have been killed since the U.S.-Israeli attack on Iran that ignited the conflict more than 3 weeks ago, most of them in Iran and Lebanon, where Israel has fought a second front with Hezbollah, the Iranian-backed militant group. here's what else we're covering. So here's what else that they're covering. So Israel's military faced scrutiny on Sunday about Iranian missiles that hit Dimona, a city 8 miles away from Israel's main nuclear facility, and the nearby city of Arad on Saturday night. More than 10 people were seriously injured and dozens more hurt in the strikes, renewing concerns that Israel might be holding back on using its most sophisticated air defenses to avoid depleting them. The Israeli military said on Monday that its own air artillery had killed an Israeli avocado farmer a day earlier near the Lebanese border. In a statement, the military apologized to the victim's family and to the community of Mizgavam, the small farming cooperative where he lived. Attacks in Lebanon. The Israeli military said early Monday that it had hit the Dalafa Bridge in southern Lebanon, the latest in a series of strikes on vital transit routes that Israel said were used by Hezbollah, the Iranian-backed armed group. Monday night, the Israeli military said it was targeting Hezbollah infrastructure in Beirut, the Lebanese capital, where residents reported hearing explosions. Qatar. A remote work mandate in Qatar, I had heard about this, which was put in place earlier this month amid the war, has been terminated. Qatar's state news agency reported in the early hours of Tuesday morning in the Middle East, Qataris in the public and private sector will return to in-person work on Tuesday, it said. The death toll, so Iran's UN ambassador said that at least 1,348 civilians had been killed in the country since the start of the war. A toll that has not been updated for over a week. On Friday, a Washington-based group, the Human Rights Activist News Agency, reported that at least 1,398 civilians had been killed. More than 1,000 people in Lebanon have been killed, the authorities there said on Thursday. At least 15 people have been killed in Iranian attacks on Israel, officials have said. The American death toll stood at 13 service members. So, who knows if this ceasefire is going to hold? Based on the timeline, right, 5 days, when it was updated, 48 hours, so now it's 5 days. We're looking at something around Saturday, around this Saturday, which would be what, the 26th? Right, with the 23rd, 27th, what would that be? Hang on. It's late at night. So anyway, it would be Saturday. And by Saturday, that would be the 28th, actually. We should have some kind of update, right, and see if this temporary ceasefire is gonna hold, right, and negotiations are gonna go through. I don't know what's gonna happen. It's kind of hard to tell, right? There's a bunch of theories, there's a bunch of suggestions, there's a bunch of speculation, right, in regards to what's happening, in regards to the market manipulation and stuff like this. But I'm curious to see what it is that you guys think is gonna happen. Let me know in the chat. Let me know what you think is gonna happen, and let me know if you believe, what you believe is gonna happen is gonna be peace, right? If there's gonna be an ultimate peace, right? And how would that be achieved, right? In other words, if it was you, how would you go about achieving peace? What would you put in place, right? How would you negotiate some kind of deal to ensure, right, that both sides get what they want ultimately? So let me know in the comments what you think. If you haven't already, hit the like, comment, subscribe, follow, all of that, all of those good things. And I will see you all in the next one, man. Peace.